Speaking of content and value, we go from Ralph Lauren, which is a brand that just has nothing going for it from a brand standpoint, to one that just seems to fire on all cylinders, Longines. We have the Longines Conquest Classic FIS Alpine Ski Special Edition. That's a mouthful, but trust me, the watch is worth it. 42 millimeters stainless steel, complete calendar, moon phase, automatic chronograph. This is a nice watch, Niko.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I was interested when I saw it, being released, and it's got a good look to it. I'm not, Longines kind of has that same connotation with the name, as far as a significant discount, but it's a different type. I mean, that's one that you're thrilled to get into pre-owned because the discount is awesome for the type of horology that you're getting into. But this watch has a great look to it. I love the pushers on it, love that dial. I mean, really a big fan of it.
If you're a fan of white metals and blue dials, boom, here's your option below $5,000. A great looking watch with tons of functionality. At 42, it's not too big to wear with anything, nor is it too big to wear on any wrist. Now, this is a watch that I love. We don't have pricing at this moment, but based on mechanically and structurally identical steel watches with the same movement, we could say it's probably going to be just over $4,000, comfortably under $5,000. A really nice watch, and a Longines, a brand that definitely knows what it stands for, content and value.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited to hopefully get it into stock and be able to get it out there.
So I also wanted to give a shout out to Blancpain with a 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe 38 coming out this month. And it's a special watch because the 38 is the size of the original 1960 50 Fathoms that started to find their way into the US market on the civilian side, and the European market on the civilian side through retailers. Well, the original 50 Fathoms was bigger than that. The first civilian one was a 38. And so Blancpain's taken that case size, repurposed it as a great modern unisex option. But stainless steel, bead blasted, blue ceramic, bezel insert with liquid metal numerals, great case size, 100-hour power reserve. I like this watch.
Yeah, I've actually saw the pictures of it, and a couple of guys were talking about it upstairs in the sales room, and it's a really cool piece. I'm excited to get it in because it just looks like one of those things that could really catch on, really be a hit. And I'm glad that they're doing something different. I mean, they've been strong for the last few years and for the past few decades, but I mean, it's one of those brands that they're doing something new, exciting with this watch, and I think it's going to fly off the shelves.
Just to respond to Scott Hockenberry, who's commenting in our live chat box, he's saying that it is much thinner. He thinks it's less than 11 millimeters. I can confirm. It's about 10.7, 10.8 millimeters thick, which means it's not thick at all. This is a great option if you want a formal watch that doesn't seem bombastic. In 2007, the modern 50 Fathoms, the 5015 came out, and that watch is gorgeous. It's the Cadillac of dive watches, but it's also 45. It's big. You can wear it on a small wrist, but you can't wear it with a sense of proportion unless you've got a wrist of commensurate mass. Now, in 2013, we got the Bathyscaphe in 43 millimeters, much thinner, lower profile, more compact in every way. Now, following up 2016's Stealth Edition, people forget that the first of the modern Bathyscaphe 38s was actually the Revolution Magazine 10th Anniversary Edition that came out last year in 2016, and that was the first of the modern Bathyscaphe 38s, made in 30 copies for Revolution Magazine out of Singapore. This was very under the radar, and if you're the coolest magazine in the watch space, you get special editions. I'm waiting, Blancpain, for the WatchYouWant.com live special edition Bathyscaphe. I want green accents, I'm just saying. But anyway, so that was almost like a dry run for this. And it's a unisex watch. It's big enough for a guy, it wears well on a lady, it looks good on any wrist, and it wears well with formal attire. To me, this is pretty darn close to perfect, unless you are actually a professional diver.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool watch. I did see the look of it, and interesting things they're coming out with. I can't wait to see the green accent one that they send Tim, because it seems like everybody's sending Tim stuff. Guys, I exist too. Just saying. But anyway, we'll see when it comes.
So, from the downsized to the upsized, and by upsized I mean galactic scale, literally. DeBethune DB25 Milky Way. This is enough to make you second guess swearing off diamonds on men's watches. And by that I mean they have integrated baguette diamonds lining the bezel of a watch with the most sublime, oxidized and polished, I don't even know what to call it, cobalt blue reflective titanium dial with hand-placed white gold stars, and laser welded yellow gold stars, creating a Milky Way band on the dial of a watch with a spherical moon phase made of blued steel and palladium, all of it hand assembled and regulated in a platinum case.
I mean, you just look at the picture, guys. I'm just not a fan. I mean, it just, come on. I mean, and you know, as you all know, diamonds, I mean, diamonds on a men's watch, I mean, it just comes down to the point where even at the retail, you know, side of it, it's just too much. I mean, you know, and when you go to sell it, diamonds are they take away from the watch. They don't give it to it. I mean, you guys have learned this by now. I mean, anybody that likes this on their watches, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure I'm going to get a few hate mail emails. I just can't look at it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We like to be provocative. I speak from the heart when I say that this one is pulling on all the strings. This is a watch that wears its diamonds with masculine grandeur. If you're going to have a galaxy on the dial, you may as well encircle it in diamonds. This is something that, from my standpoint, and I know you're never going to agree with me on this, almost works as well as the single diamond at the base of a platinum Patek Philippe or the diamond capstone on a Glasuda original tourbillon.
They're all going to side with you. I don't...
Okay, I'm an advocate. That's all I am. I'm just making my case. In the court of public opinion, ultimately you guys out there have the final say. But mechanically, it's spectacular. The caliber, manually wound, has a 6-day power reserve, a case-back power reserve scale, a polished, optically smooth stainless steel barrel bridge for the mainspring barrels, and a titanium full balance bridge. I always like to talk about this attenuating shock, but they've taken it to another level. This caliber has a triple parachute system, so it's almost like it's got a conventional shock absorber on the balance wheel, which by the way is a solid disc of silicon with a white gold annular ring around it, and then that whole assembly is anchored. It's got a shock protection at center, but then it also has anchoring shock absorbers on the edges of the balance bridge. So you've got a veritable trampoline of shock protection for this movement.
Yeah, Tim could make a rusted out Toyota Camry sound good. That's what this is to me. I don't like the watch, don't like the look. I can appreciate the horology, I can appreciate all the work that went into it, but it's the same thing as when I see a diamond out AP. I'm sorry, honesty is key. You know, they're appreciating it here at TIFF. Thank you very much, David Lau. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. You know, it's just... Sorry, guys. I take Tim's word on this one.
Well, I'm not an authorized dealer for these, so I'm not trying to sell you a DeBethune or a Toyota Tetanus Mobile or whatever he said I'm going to sell for you. The bottom line is that I love this. This is fantastic, and I can't have it. I can't afford it. I probably can't find one for sale, but the bottom line is I love living in a world where things like this exist.